We got to continue to build the habits we've been trying to do this last week and a half. Play fast, share the ball, get into the paint. Things that we're going to keep doing every day. It's going to be regardless of who we're playing against, but they're obviously a great defensive team.
How are Bagley and Kozee doing?
Kyle was a full participant today, ready to go, and Marvin was a partial participant today.
Brian, how do you balance the playing with speed, playing fast, while also making sure that you're not turning the ball over, taking care of the ball? Because there's been a bit of an uptick the last couple of games of turnovers.
Sure. Yeah, we don't want to play in crowds. Like, you have an open man, make the pass. I think that we try to keep it very simple with that. We want to have good spacing, and that allows you to see the decisions that you make. Sometimes those turnovers, we were a little bunched up. But when we have good spacing, we've shown some good results. So we keep working on our spacing and making that extra pass.
How have you seen as well, too, with Bilal? He's had the ball in his hands a little bit more than we've seen in the past. His decision-making continuing to improve. How have you seen him grow in that aspect?
I think it's growing every day, every practice, every game. We're going to keep putting him in positions to grow. I think he has a good feel for the game and sees things. So we're going to put him in positions to create for himself and create for others.
With Cleveland winning 18 of their last 22 games, of the 4 games that they've lost, what did they struggle with in those games?
You know, we realize how good they are, but we're really focused on our process here. We talked about this the other day. We needed to have a good practice today, and we got in the gym, worked, and I think those are the habits we're trying to build every day. I have great respect for Cleveland and what they're doing. They're playing great basketball, but we got to keep getting internally better with ourselves.
Brian, how good has Bilal's .5 mentality been from the outset?
I think that's something he had naturally in him, and he's always been a quick decision maker, makes good decisions. We want him continue to grow with that and play aggressive and attack downhill because we think he can be a guy who can create for himself and others. But that was something that he had early and I think has developed over the season.
Help us understand how a coach goes about explaining to players that their disposition defensively wasn't good enough in the prior game. Is it film? Is it talking? Is it?
I think it's a mixture of all that, but I think we were all aware that we weren't who we had been, and we took a little bit of a step that we didn't want to take. I think we had to own that, acknowledge that. We did that multiple ways, messaging with talking to the team, talking together, film. But that's something we can't be about, and we're going to continue to work on our habits that we won't be that again.
Brian, kind of conducting practice and going about daily business the week of the trade deadline where things could change, things could stay the same. Is that something you address with the group, or you try to not address it at all?
We don't focus on the outside noise. We focus on these walls in here and the people who are in this building, and that's what we did today. We got after it in practice. So we never really try to focus or think about things that we can't control. We focus on getting better today.
Did you have the level of practice that you wanted to see?
Yes, you could probably hear it in my voice, so yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes Eugene will go out there and put up some pretty crazy numbers in a short period of time. What does it say about him, just the production he can provide sometimes in small glimpses?
I think Gene's been a great example of our development system that we have here. Great job that our coaches have done with him, a great job with our G League coaches that worked for him, and mostly credit to Eugene, who has, when giving any opportunity, either the last 5 minutes of the game or thrown in early the other night, he always produces. So credit to him, but also credit to what we believe is important here, and that we develop all of our players and having them ready for when their number is called. And he's been a great example of that for our team.
I know the synergy you spoke on with yourselves and the Go-Go. When guys like, whether it's PJ, Johnny, Gino, Jules are down with the Go-Go, is there a conversation amongst you and Cody on what you want to see them focus on, improve upon, or is it just the collective conversations you all are already organically having that they already know?
Yeah, we're like one organization, so they're part of my staff. I've always in constant communication with them and Cody and his staff. So we're all working on the same development plans for all of our players. That's something we take a lot of value in. That we're basically working as one. So when he goes down there, he's focused on the same things that he would be. Any guy who goes down there doing the same things that they would do for us. So it's a lot of great synergy between both staffs.
Take on after the last game and how you performed in that last game and how to kind of replicate that same level of activity and energy on the court?
I think the energy was there. For me, I was aggressive, trying to make the right play, trying to compete at the highest level. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we lost, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like we could have done better as a team in terms of defensively and competing, even myself. And other than that, just trying to learn from last game and be better for the next one.
How was that communicated to the team that the team defense, the whole defensive effort and performance wasn't good enough?
I think we're smart enough to know that it wasn't there, and I think we showed film and we watched film, and we all like, we didn't even have to talk, honestly. Like, we know what we're capable of. We stop teams. We play good defense in some games, and I feel like when we're not playing like that, we like everybody's paying attention. So yeah, about it.
What have you thought about Cory's development this year?
I think it's great. I think I see it every day in the gym, and I feel like he's a good player. He has the instincts. He knows where to be. He has the IQ. For him, was more like mental and keep shooting and like being consistent. And I feel like he's doing it this year. He's not afraid. He's going to the rim with bad intentions, which is good to see. And his shooting like become more consistent, and honestly like he feels a lot more comfortable on the court, and it's normal for a guy that in his third year, and like obviously you see the development, and hopefully he's only going to develop from here.
What do you think about the way that Eugene tends to put up like big numbers in short periods of time?
I love it. I feel like since the beginning of the year, every opportunity he got, he did the most of. And I feel like you can't take it for granted of a player that doesn't really play, and then he comes in and like have like nice numbers and like good impact on the game. And I feel like we're all aware of it, and like we believe in him, and he's just gonna keep working hard and like stay with us, and like he's gonna be good. Believe in him.
How important will it be to attack the paint tomorrow and not just drive and finish in there, but get a piece of the paint in terms of getting good flow and rhythm and spacing on the offensive side?
I think there was one stat that Coach was talking about, like when we touch the paint in offense, like good things happen. We generate a lot of opportunities and points. So I feel like just being aggressive and sharing the ball. Sometimes when we get in the paint, we get a little stagnant with the ball. We don't really move it, but it really like wears on defenses if like keep scrambling, keep like pursuing, keep up with us, because we're like really athletic team, young team, and when we touch the paint and like share the ball, it's really hard to keep up with us.
For tomorrow, the aspect of getting more paint touches and not just entry passes to post players in post positions, but getting that drive and kick mentality, what is that going to take to stay focused on that tomorrow?
Really just, the repetition that we've been putting in. It's kind of like was one of the main factors that BK kind of told us today, was how he wanted guys to get downhill, find different ways to get into the paint to where we can get out, spray out threes, or just get buckets inside of the paint in general at the end of the day. So that was kind of like the main factor. And all I would say is just repetition and just the willingness just to go at the end of the day.
And defensively against the Cavs, they've won 18 of their last 22, but in those 4 games that they've lost, what have you seen as being the biggest disruption that they've faced in those losses?
I haven't really, I would say, paid attention to it at the end of the day. I've more paid just attention to just like my matchup with Jared. So it's just really just kind of like taking it day by day. For sure, just going to kind of lock into it today, because we got them tomorrow. But being like prepared for just like the onslaught that's going to come, that was just like the main thing. It's just kind of like focusing on Jared at first for me.
Gaff, what does a Brian Keefe-led practice feel like? Is it different from other coaches you've been under at all?
Oh, I would say it's really intense. Today it was really intense in general, just like coming out, he set the tone with the energy, and we just kind of like followed suit pretty much. He was out there, he was being the point guard, he was being the coach, he was being, a player, he was being everything, I would say, at the end of the day today, for sure. So any type of practice like that is always a good practice, and I love it for sure.
What has he been stressing just in the first couple times he's had you?
Pretty much just our pace, our transition defense, rebounding, and pretty much like the main thing today was kind of, getting inside the paint, spray out threes, and just having like that, I would say, non-compacted flow with our offense.
What is it about the matchup with Jared? 'Cause it seems like it brings out a different level of your game on both ends of the floor. Is it just going up against another big that is athletic as mobile as you are? What is it about?
For sure. I mean, it's another challenge that I have to step into, most definitely, because Jared, he does pretty much everything on the floor that any big is like brought into this league to do. DHOs, set screens, pick and rolls. He has the ball in his hands most of the time, playing with Donovan, Darius, all those guards, and just really just kind of like locking into just like the things that he does great. Just trying to be in a position to where I can kind of take him off of his edge a little bit.